So basically what I do is I cut right above its little elbow and I clear the tendons above the elbow. That's all I did. I didn't cut through the bone, just clear the tendons above the elbow. Then I'm going to give it a compound fracture and pull it off. Okay? So essentially, see now that whole idea of having to scrape the bone down or whatnot, not necessary because it's done for me. And I don't have any sharp shards for the customer to keep. Unfortunately. All of our bones, by the way, stop. So you'll see in the frozen walk-in that we've got rabbit bones in there, chicken bones in there. That's all products that we are keeping and eventually we'll make brown stock with. Yeah. The one thing also that you always want to come on, you always want to have a paper towel around, right? So you keep your cutting hand nice and dry. Now I'm going to flip the bird around and do the same. That side. There we go. Now I'm going to flip the bird around again because I essentially always want to keep the bird in this situation, okay? Aligned with its legs towards me. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the leg off. So I'm going to and I want you to get comfortable touching your protein, your product, okay? Feel how its joints articulate. You know, feel where things are moving in it. It's a live little animal. We're going to eat this little guy, and we want to be appreciative of it, and we also want to make our cuts in the right places. We want to minimize as much as possible actually cutting through bone. This helps our edge, and it also helps eliminate that eventuality of having hard shards that people can cut themselves on. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to do a very light cut. I'm going to give it another compound fracture. So basically I've popped its hip joint out, okay? And then I'm going to cut.
Like grandma's.
Yeah. And now I'm cutting right against its spine. I didn't cut through any bone, I just cut right against the spine and removed the leg, okay? Thomas, as you're here, I'd like for you to do it on that side. Okay, it's right, yeah, yes, this is good. So you want to do a compound fracture first. So before you pick up the knife, you actually want to pop that little hip joint out. So now what you're going to do, you're going to hold it here, and you're going to actually, I want you to feel the process of doing that. You'll feel it click.
I'm afraid to hurt it.
That's good.
I know.
So if you she won't fight back.
No, right now we're doing actually the legs. Did you hear a pop? You're actually going to pop up. Up. Up that part. We're going to break this bird apart slowly by our hands.
When they show first shoulders, just take the back of the knife and crack it.
Yeah, you did. Okay. So
I
now
didn't feel it.
you can actually feel in here where you have a channel that's open, and you want to cut through that channel right against the spine. So you're going to cut, get your thumb in there and feel where you have that void. Now watch your hands. Watch your hands. I really,
I was just.
yeah, so right now you're going to remove your hand away, right? You felt that void in there. And then I just cut there. Well, actually, we only got like a drumette this time. But anyway, how did that happen? How did we get just around that? Where did it go? Well, what the hell? What happened to that bird?
I don't know. It's freaking deformed.
It is, honestly.
The thigh is behind it. You know what happened to that bird? It's not freaking raised.
Okay, that's all right. We're gonna make the bird work. It's okay. That's very odd. This is not. It's just very odd. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. So now we're gonna work on the breast. Okay, and we're gonna do that supreme. So I'm gonna go down the sternum, and I'm just gonna make a cut right down the sternum. And there's, that's the breastbone basically. I'm gonna come off the side here. Just making long, shallow cuts. Now, almost all of these birds, because they're commercially processed, they break their ribs in the process of doing that. Normally, the bird would have a solid set of ribs, and you would just riff off the ribs. In this case, the little guy, his rib has been broken. So that's okay. I just jump over and I just follow it nicely. And I go all the way down until I approach that little drumette, the little shoulder. And again, here I need to touch my little bird again. And I need to feel for where that shoulder connects to the scapula. There's a little hollow there again. And I'm gonna ask you all wash your hands, right? I want you all to get in here and find where I've got my thumb going and feel that channel. Because there is indeed a little channel. It's kind of a little bit difficult at first to get because it's well connected, but that's where we want to put our knife through. Okay? I'll kind of show you right now because I see I'm not cutting through any bone. I'm looking on the other side. And that gives me my beautiful supreme with drumette attached. Okay? So that's my supreme right there. We're going to do the same on this side, and I'm going to ask everybody to, and you can see on this side as well, I've got my tender, so you can remove that tender and cook that separately if you want, or leave it all intact. But you can see, Marchand, the reason why we need to pound this out is because it is rather, we've got a lot of mass here, not so much mass here. I put that on the grill. This is going to get cooked quite quickly, and this is going to not be cooked. Yes, so we want to actually make that work for us, right? So now here, right, this way, and just going so I get all the way down to the bottom.
You feel the blade against the ribs.
Yes. And again, so I've got my wishbone right there. Move that out again. So right here, you can feel where it's got the little, you can't see it, but right in this area right here is where we've got the shoulder meeting the scapula. Right there, and that's where we want to cut through, where we've got this movement, where we've got this hollow, this void. So everybody just take a moment and get your thumb on one side and your index finger on the other and feel that. Okay.
You see it's right there.
Yeah, I know. Yes,
Go ahead, feel it. Right here.
Oh, and you put it in between the weight?
Yes, in between the joint and that wood. See how easy that makes life? No hacking through bone. It's all very nice. So we have two lovely,
2 thighs, 2 legs.
right, and a carcass that we're for stock. All right. So now we have our leg and we want to bone out our leg. So I'm going to just make, now there's nothing very beautiful about this. I'm going to be quite frank with you right now. I'm going to go on either side of the femur, otherwise known as the thigh bone. And I'm just going to scrape off that bone. Until I get to the knee. My sharp knife. And then when I get to the knee, I'm going to work around the knee. And you're going to do a pretty good margin. Okay, because if you cut into the knee, your knee is made of, what, three parts? You've got, I'm not quite sure the scientific name for the bottom part and the top part. And then you've got the, is it the capula? The cap on top. If you cut into that cap, then the whole thing starts really moving on you. And it becomes rather difficult to control. So I'm going to give it kind of a large, etching in there, give it a large margin. Work my way around. Now I've worked my way around the knee. The knee is clear. Now I'm down to my shin bone, the tibia. Okay, and I'm just scraping. Again, it's not very beautiful, but it is highly effective. I want to get all that tendon off. Now I want to find my little leg again. See, none of the skin has been broken, right? I haven't broken any skin. That's probably the most important part when you're coming around the knee area there, is to not break that skin. Okay, now I'm going to take the spine of my knife, and I'm going to give the little ankle a good whack. Okay. And I take the whole thing out. Beautiful. Nice and clean, yeah? Stop. Now, I leave this little ankle in for a couple of reasons. The primary reason, though, is like a little cork. It stops the stuffing from going out the end, right? So it's just a beautiful stopper for our whole process there. And it also helps me figure out the shape again, right? Because we're going to stuff this. All of this is staying in here. We're going to season it with salt and pepper, stuff our force meat in there, our fats, and then fold the skin over again, wrap it in parchment. That will be sufficient to make a nice seal. And we're going to put it back together in that shape. So it looks like they're getting a whole leg again. Okay. Who would like to try this one? Let's go for it. So this one is a little bit smaller. So in fact, this one we lost the whole deal. What happened? Well, it was a very unusual thing. So right now we have a drumette and we have a full leg. All right, this one is going to be, well, it's just a little bit, because there's not too
It's
big.
not
The
enough
knee
to hold on to.
The knee has been chopped in half. This is the problem. Our little knee ball is, we have not too much to hold on to there. But that's okay. We're going to make this work. We're going to make this work.
So is that the knife you always want to use when doing that?
Actually, a fillet knife would work, a bony knife would work very well.
Is that the littler knife?
That's the one that has, yeah. As I've already got this one all screwed up on her. Oh, she is stopped. I'm really just trying to clear this.
Not have some fire.
That's why I'm in here.
I'm like, I like knives and fire. This is a good place to be.
Okay, so I just somehow had to get a handhold on that
Oh, you got it.
fractured knee ball. So there's a lot of tendon in there. Wow. All right, we did it. We did it. So again, be careful. Just be careful. Take your time. This is really a very good lesson in. There we go. All right. So we do have two things that we are going to stuff and enjoy. Beautiful. Now on this, unfortunately, okay, so this is beautiful, right? You see it, lovely. This is I really probably trim off this fat a wee bit, but that's gorgeous. But unfortunately, guess what? We're just going to get rid of it.
Is there any times with bones, no fragments of bones?
No, there's no fragments of bones. If you're doing it carefully, there's no. I didn't cut through any bone.
No, you're breaking it.
That was a good fried chicken.
So just pop it. When she does that, she's just popping.
So I think we're probably going to be good to fill these two babies with. I'm going to take the tender on that.
Yeah, because it
Take the skin
that's
off that.
where
So make
she
sure
does
all
it.
your skin is removed. So do I have compost? Green bin. So this is what we would use for our.
Stuffing.
No. For our butterfly. That. And be careful on this because it can really. Sometimes I like to just go with the flat. Then we put this into some lovely seasoned oil, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, some fresh herbs. let it sit in there for while we're doing the rest of our recipe. And then at the end of the recipe, we'll put that on the grill, cook it all the way through, chill it off, and then that will be held for the salad station Caesar salad, if anybody wants grilled chicken, yeah? Okay, now here though, this is what we're gonna use for our stuffing. So we're gonna just cut it into dice here to make it easier for the machine to process.
Processor.
And in we go. So let's have so let's get this into let's wrap that in plastic. We have some plastic wrap in place, and we'll keep that under refrigeration. We're not going to do that quite today. Egg white and cornstarch will provide a sufficient cohesion that this stuffing is not going to seep out. All right. So now, hold on. Actually, let's do this. Let's just do this while it's in. Got a nice spatula. Rather than sticking our fingers in there, let's do this first. And now we're going to go back on. Let that drop. Shoot the pulse. That cleans my blade, so I'm not touching my blade. Clean blade. Now, go in. Did everybody get that? We were talking over there.
I love the tidbits.
We were talking over there. Did you get that?
No.
No, we didn't. All right, so rather than shoving a blade, pulling it out and all the rest of it, I get the majority of my product out, okay, leaving my blade inside. I put the whole unit back on, right? Put my blade is already there. Pop it back down again. Give it a pulse visit. That cleans my blade, right? Then I just remove, see my blade is totally clean, but I let the machine do that. I didn't touch it, okay? Oops. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. See farce of chicken, cornstarch, egg white, salt, white pepper, and nutmeg, yeah? And now, I'm gonna put, look at that. And we're gonna save this. I've got some stock. Probably might be later, so there. Thank you. And here we go. All nicely mixed in. I'm just kind of, not the most beautiful way in the world, but ensuring that everything is in there. Now, I brought for us Jeff. Oh, that's yours, right? I got disposables first. So now I'm going to fill this first. Now, when you're by yourself, if you've got a colleague, it's great. They can hold the bag for you, and it's really nice. However, most often we're by ourselves. And so, in that eventuality, I like to find something like this. But you know what? Look. We're good. Okay. Good enough. Put that there. And we have a swirl. And so basically I fold back my bag, right? And then I'm gonna, if this was open, I'm gonna up the tip. I'm still gonna up the tip anyway because it's a good practice to be in. I kind of let the bag sit on the edge there. Then in it goes. This way you don't have to plead with folks to hold your bag for you. And I use the bag, the interior of the bag, making sure I don't get the exterior of the bag gunky. And I pop it down. All my product on the bottom there. And there we go. Got a nice. So now I'm going to take off the tip here. I think that's a pretty good amount. That one. And now I need my chicken bag. Where did we put our? I think he's in the refrigerator. Chicken, he's got it. The French chicken. Yeah. It's inside. here's our prepped birds. Okay. And we're going to put that back because that's going to be for
Salad.
for our grill work. All right. So I'm going to keep your hands nice and dry. These bags have purposely have a kind of a little bit of a texture to it to help us, but we want to keep our hands as dry as possible. So I'm going to shove that in with my one hand, right? And as I get a little bit in there, what I want to do, see right now, it's floppy, yeah? So I'm going to, from up here, I'm going to push and fill that cavity. And then with my thumb, and also in doing this, a little bit of water is your friend because it stops you from tacking to the, I'm going to give it another shove. Just filling that, you can see it swell up. Okay. And I'm loving this. I want this. We're moving into the kitchen. It's coming with us. We don't need it in here. All right, and now I'm going to fill it up. About like that. Just allow. I mean, how beautiful is that, yeah?
Yes.
No bones to it, and we've got beautiful flavored solid meat in there with just a little bit of bacon and cheese. Cover that up. I like my food. I can't tell you. All right, so there we go. So I've got a even better than the original. She put on weight. There we go. So that's one right there. So now I need just a half a sheet of parchment. This is going to be our little guy. And again. It's the same chicken. Go all the way. We're going to take it all the way to 150, and then let carryover cooking take it to 165. And just to give you a general, like 130, I know 130 is going to be firm. We're actually above that. But we don't have, we're probably average. Someone get their thermometer out. This one is going to be a little bit lower.
You gonna hand it to her like that?
Is that? I think actually I'm going to leave it on that side.
Stick it in there, Lord.
Or just stick it in there and check it yourself.
No.
Yeah.
Not for the skin, that's the presentation side. The other end. Yeah, we're already way above. Yeah. But what we need now is great. We're totally cooked. This is fantastic. However, we don't have any lovely color on it. Okay? We need to get the caramel.